Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose.
Hey there, Post+Institute. This is Christy Saul, the co-founder, coming at you live for tonight's episode of Post Daily Dose, the best little parenting show on the internet. I hope you guys are doing fabulous this evening. Of course, I want to start by plugging these books real quick. Brian's book, From Fear to Love, that you can get on promotion at feartolovebook.com. Then, of course, we've got this incredible, and I do mean this workbook is incredible. I was working on it a little bit today, adding a little bit to the back so that we can get it printed and I can use every single page that's available. So we'll have it in-house hopefully very soon, but you can get it in print on Amazon using their print-on-demand service. And we also have it available on ebook at postinstitute.com. And then, of course, this incredible book, The Great Behavior Breakdown, available at postinstitute.com as well as Amazon. So, the month of February, we are focusing on all things love. And last week we hit on a couple of post nuggets. Breathe in, love will enter, peace will follow. That's a Brian+Post quote. Another Post quote. Fear says fix it. Love says create the environment, build the loving relationship, and that will create the recipe for people being the best version of themselves. And then we started diving into 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient, love is kind, and last night we talked about love does not envy. So tonight, love does not boast, it is not proud. Whew. That really... honestly, I have been thinking about this all day long, knowing I was going to come and talk to you guys about this and really digging deep to gain some sort of wisdom. And here's what I realized. Hey, Carrie, nice to see you and thanks for saying hi. I see a few other people watching. Anybody who wants to say hi, I always love that. So one of the things that as we've been diving through this, we've been able to really pretty easily notice how the flip side, right? Love is patient. So the flip side of patient is being impatient, and knowing that when we step out of being patient, when we start being impatient, that is a red flag, that we're stepping into fear. We're stepping out of love and into fear. When we are being unkind, when we are spewing our stress on others, it's coming from a place of fear. We are stepping out of love and we are stepping into fear. We noticed last night, we talked about love does not envy. We talked about how envy takes us out of our life and out of being able to see the beauty of where we're planted and what we've been called to do, and how it invites us into envying other people, and that keeps us from really being able to create the life we're really wanting. We also identified how oftentimes envy and grief can be tag team partners. And so to notice when that feeling of envy or jealousy comes up and to let it be a red flag, to go deeper. What's that coming from? What's that telling you? It's just a really great opportunity to be very gentle with yourself and with your children, and to also get creative, that just because maybe your child can't do things the way other families are doing them, that you and your child can't go and do certain things that other people are able to go and do, doesn't mean that you might not be able to create some sort of version of that to help you feel more fulfilled. So tonight, love does not boast and it is not proud. So I had to click over and do a little reading just to try to get a little deeper into that. And here's what I came up with. A couple of things. One, when we are being boastful and prideful, one, it often means that we are taking on human credit, and we are only human. And I will tell you, as a human being, and also as being a very close friend of Brian+Post, who is well known in this arena, that you can go from being God to goat in a hot minute, because you are only human. You are not God. You are only human. And when we step into places of being boastful and prideful, we are trying to take more credit than maybe as humans what it is that we ought to. So there's that piece, and that's a reality. So if you've ever been in a place of being in the public spotlight, if you've ever been a teacher or a community leader or in any of those sorts of positions in your life, then you know what I'm saying when I say you can go from being God to goat. They'll think you are the best thing since sliced bread, but just as soon as you mess up, then you fall. I mean, not only do you fall down a step or two off the pedestal you've been put on, but it is like a plummeting crash. So maybe that's part of the reason that love does not boast and it is not proud, because it takes glory into us as opposed to lifting glory and also sharing glory among other people in your circle. There's really no way to give credit to everybody who makes you who it is that you are and makes your life possible. Like when I think about all the different things that have gone in to how I am where I am in my life right now, there's just no way for me to credit every single I don't even know. Honestly, I couldn't even give names to people who have shared this message or supported me in prayer and lift. I mean, just like I was talking to Rose at the beginning of the week by our divine phone call and hearing that she prays for the Post+Institute. Oh my gosh. I can't be boastful about what we're creating because it's not even me that's creating it. It's like a movement. It's like a community, And so, yeah, I mean, I'm excited about that. I am proud about that. But as far as it being me, no. And Brian would say the same thing. Brian's like, I swear this message got downloaded. It didn't come from me. Yes, I was in a position. Yes, I made some decisions to do some advanced studies. Yes, it is a passion in my heart. So I was fertile soil for the message of this love-based parenting model to be downloaded. And this was for him back in, 1990. That's how long. He and I started the Post+Institute in 1999, but this model of parenting was downloaded to him at least 5 to 10 years before that. Here's the other thing that I connected with when I thought about love is not boastful, it is not proud. That when we are stepping into a place where we feel like we need to be boastful and prideful, right underneath that really is fear. Fear that no one will notice your good deeds or your accomplishments. That if I don't toot my horn, then no one's going to notice my good deeds or my accomplishments. Love does not boast and it is not proud. What's also really interesting is that we live in a culture that it's almost like if you don't toot your own horn, who will? It's a highly competitive society. We are human. These things that we are talking about, these principles that we are talking about, it makes me realize how powerful the energy of love is. It is so powerful. It's so beyond what we are as humans, because we are literally just fallible, fleshly human beings. These are things for us to strive for, and they are things for us to take note of. It's ways that we can notice when we are getting out of alignment with principles of love. And in the arena of parenting children who come from tough places, adoption and foster care specifically, the other thing that we have to be thoughtful about is what I have heard referred to as savior complex. And if you come into the arena of adopting and foster care with a complex of saying, I am saving somebody, my experience has been that we usually get pretty well humbled because we all have a whole lot to learn. We have a whole lot to learn. And the experiences that we have and the growth that we experience when we're parenting children who come from tough places, I think really puts us into this place of realizing that we're not saviors. We're just human beings, and fallible human beings at that. And hopefully we can build our reservoir of love so that we can help shine light in very dark places. But we are, in fact, just humans. It is not our place as humans to deem ourselves as saviors. So, love does not boast. It is not proud. When we step into those areas of life, when we feel like we are bragging about ourselves and our accomplishments and boasting, it's likely that we're stepping into a place of fear because we're afraid that no one else will notice our good deeds or our accomplishments. We are just human. Let these things, when you notice that you're stepping outside of the things that have been defined as love, and that part of the reason I picked 1 Corinthians 13 is because people, we're always quoting this. It's quoted in wedding ceremonies, and it's quoted at children's births and christenings and baptisms. It's something that's so frequently quoted, but how often do we really step down for a minute and just really meditate on what these words are trying to direct us in, and why these words were chosen the way they were chosen? And so honestly, even, as I've gone through this, it's really led me to think deeper, to just give deeper thought about what this message is trying to tell us. And it's just telling us that there's this place of patience and kindness and appreciating the life that you have, and to just having this humble way of going about life can be a very beautiful thing. Not everybody's going to be the Super Bowl champion. Not everybody's going to be standing on one of the 3 tiers at the Olympics. That everybody has a different purpose and a different walk in life. And so with that, I'm going to call it good for the night. Thank you guys for being here. I hope there's something in this that's like literally medicine for your heart, medicine for your soul. Maybe it's a way to help you kind of quiet all those emotions and those frantic feelings that can get stirred up in our day-to-day life. When we can quiet those racing thoughts and those emotions that are like palm trees in the wind, it really can create a much greater pathway to really connect with greater love and be able to walk in that space. If you've not already done so today, at some point, set everything aside that you've been worried and stressed and fretting about. All the racing thoughts, just set it all aside. Just set it all aside. 30 minutes isn't going to make all that much difference. Not for the difference that loving your children will. Spending time with them, engaged with them, playing with them, letting the love you have for them shine from your eyes, let it emit from your heart. Let them be able to look at you, and when they look at you, they'll just be like, oh my gosh, and be like, yeah, I love you that much. You are so adorable. Take time to play with them, wrestle, lounge, relax, create together, whatever that looks like for your family. Honestly, it's one of the most valuable things in creating healing is simply sharing that kind of time together. It is more valuable than all the math problems you could ever complete. When we spend time in those activities, it's building a part in their brain that will make future learning come easier. It's one of the most fundamental building blocks in the relationship. And remember what Brian tells us: in any given moment, we can act out of stress and fear and overwhelm, or we can take 1 to 2 to 3 deep breaths, and we can choose love. Much love to you guys. Have a blessed evening, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Join us live on weekdays at 6:30 Central Time on Facebook at the Post+Institute.
Don't forget to get your copy of Brian's best-selling book, From Fear to Love, on promotion.
Just pay shipping and handling at www.feartolovebook.com. That's www.feartolove.com.